I use it if I'm going somewhere specifically and I need it timed.
Yeah.
Like I need to know how long it's going to take.
Yeah. I like to use it for traffic.
For traffic, too. That's the other thing I was going to say.
Like wrecks and stuff,
yeah.
and then take the side roads.
If I need to switch it out.
It's only happened like twice when I've driven to work because I drive from Gilbert.
Okay.
We take the 101.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And then sometimes it'll be like all cool. But last week it was like, get on the 202 now. And I was like, what? Ah. Yeah, so I took the 202, and I never take that.
Yeah, I saw, last week was really bad on the 101. There was an
last week
accident.
It sucked.
They had the funeral procession for the cop who died on the 101. And then during, like, that same day, like, right after that, somebody else died in, like, a motorcycle accident, like, up near where I worked.
My friend's friend died last year on the 101, or like getting off on a ramp. Dylan something, and he was like 18. And it sucked because I like came into work and I was like, "How was your weekend?" And she's like, "I don't want to talk about it." And I was like, "Well, Jasmine's being a bitch."
Goddamn
like
Jasmine.
Her boyfriend's best friend like died, and I was like, "Oh, that's on me."
That's hilarious.
Somebody just died at work.
What?
At your work?
Yeah.
How?
Of what?
Cancer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The big C.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I just got.
Is that what they call it now?
That's what I call
Doctors,
it.
oncologists are like, you got it, the big C.
Big C.
You're done.
Gynecologists also use that term, but they're
For
not talking about cancer.
Yeah, you've just got a giant.
You've got a real big C.
Sorry, are you saying cunt or clit?
Yeah.
Which one?
Which C? Which C we talking
You've got a
about?
lima bean.
What do you? Is that a baby dick there? What's happening? Is that are you trying to grow a finger right now?
Oh man,
Just like a thumbprint. Just like a top of a thumb.
Every I don't know if you know this, but every clit has their own distinctive print, just like a thumbprint.
Is that a real thing? Did you
I'm
just
gonna
make
go
that
get
up?
I'm gonna go get an ink pad tonight and just like stick it on and like.
That's
so
the-
if
that's
I
the
ever
new
like
thing for
disappear,
girls.
there's just gonna be like my fingerprints and then just like one little guy.
Yeah.
But it's mine.
That's the new way to get to know your body.
Yeah,
you know, like
just like a Judy Blume book.
Well, no, it was like, remember how they were like, for a minute they were telling women to like stand over a mirror, get to know yourself.
I don't think for a minute. I think that's all the time. That they
Yeah.
Is
do
that all the time? Is that always been a thing? I remember seeing there was like.
Have you ever
There's a
held
big
the
what to
mirror
do.
to your butthole?
Oh yeah, I know what my asshole looks
Yeah,
like.
you ever
It's
look
a
at your
fucking-
You gotta look at it all.
It's a horrible,
know
horrible
what
garden
mine-
of weeds.
You know what your butthole looks like?
No, but
Oh,
I
man.
looked.
You should get to know your butthole.
The only
Sure.
time that I've looked twice as an adult.
Yeah.
And you were like,
After I got
"Predator
like,
face, no."
because I get Brazilians,
Okay.
and so the first time I did it, I was like
Checking your
really
lines.
intrigued. Like I was like, "What is happening?" And it was so mad.
Yeah.
It was so angry. It was, and I was like scared to do it. And I like took a Snapchat of it. And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, and it was like in HD, you know.
Oh,
so I saw
no.
like every pore, and I was zooming in. Just oh
Ooh,
wow.
That's too
amazing.
much.
Yeah, it was.
That's too
I
much.
deleted it like immediately, but I
That's too
know.
much.
And then the other time is recently, and that's like a whole thing. But
I mean,
it's
we
just-
have time.
I mean, there's so much time on this podcast.
Okay.
That's what this podcast.
This
was
is
for.
perfect. And
Oh my God.
continue to tell us of how you explored your beeve.
So this is embarrassing. I'm Hannah, by the way.
Oh yeah. By the way, this is Meat Sweats.
Listen.
This is our friend Hannah Tighe.
Usually we don't introduce you to like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So-
sorry. Okay,
I mean, you
never
gotta
mind.
go.
No,
Who
you're
am
good.
I? I'm being an
That's
asshole.
fine. No.
So I had like hooked up with a guy, and it was like a one-off situation. Like he was my friend, and then like we like messed around. Oh, okay, well let me back up. So I had like 2 red marks on my neck, and it was like around my birthday, and I was like kind of freaking out because I was like, I don't want to get anything on my birthday, but I like kind of ignored it, you know, like when you see something on your body, you're like, whatever, it's no big deal.
Yeah,
I'll
I got
ignore
a
this for
cyst growing in
Yeah,
my
you're
forehead
like-
like that.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna make it an issue.
Horn
It's
boy
nothing.
never goes to the doctor over here.
Right,
He just
I-
grows
Did you
grows
say-
more horns.
Yeah.
I you said worm boy.
No, horn boy.
Horn boy.
I'm growing a horn.
Worm
This is my
boy.
first devil horn.
Worm boy might be accurate too.
I probably have worms.
Maybe it's
of
a
some
worm
kind.
that's just pulling
You
up.
guys have no idea, like
Yeah.
the state of my body right now. It's just fucking
I
garbage.
can guess.
So garbage.
Like, I could guess, and I feel like it would
Hey,
be
we're talking
accurate.
about how garbage Hannah is.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's my garbage time.
Sorry, Hannah.
Thank you.
I didn't mean to take away
Thanks.
from you.
Gosh. That's fine.
Just think because you got that fucking beard. Do whatever you want.
I'd have one too, Matt, if I didn't wax.
Fuck yeah. We're all about not shaving anything on this
No,
podcast.
I shave. Or I wax. But anywho,
Brazilians.
so I like ignored these like red bumps, and then I ended up like messing around with this guy, and like the next day, like we didn't have sex, but like the next day, my whole like trunk was just covered with these like red bumps, like all over.
You have
like
an allergic reaction?
I'll tell. So I'm like freaking out, and I
Yeah.
have like my mom's friend is a dermatologist, and like I've known her like my whole life.
Can you
and like
introduce us to help with the horn?
we're not friends anymore after this. And so
damn it.
like so I was like freaking out because it was like on my legs, like on my body, and I was like at this guy's house, and I look in the mirror and I'm just like, oh my god, what the hell? And so I took a picture and I like sent it to this dermatologist. I was like, hey Erin, what's going on? And she took like one look at it and she's like, Hannah, that's syphilis.
Oh God.
Like no questions asked, like
God.
nothing, like. And so I immediately like
Syphilis
start.
has a rash? There's a syphilis rash?
Yeah.
Is there?
So
Okay.
So anyway,
According to this dermatologist.
so I'm like freaking out. I'm crying because I'm like statistically I should have syphilis, but like your girl's like skated by with nothing. Like I've run the numbers. There should be something there,
Right.
but there's not. I'm a miracle. And
I just dose antibiotics like every once in a while. Just make sure I'm clean.
he
Yeah,
says one
I'm-
for Rocco, one for me. That's his whole thing.
That's how we do it.
Rocco's got sniffles. Daddy's got a drippy tick. We're both
Ew.
taking one.
Yep.
and
Actually, it's
so,
been the cat lately. She's a little sniffly.
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 Little siffly.
Sniffly. She got them red bumps.
Hannah was a little siffly.
So I'm like
She had
freaking out.
the girl with the syphilis tattoo thing going.
It's just pox all over her body. And so I'm like freaking out, and like for like a week, right? Like I think I have syphilis, and I'm like Googling everything, like
That's a long time.
yeah, because I didn't want to go to the doctor. Like I didn't want to admit it. I didn't want it to be like
Yeah.
concrete.
Didn't want it to be real.
Yeah, and so it was like
When you go to the doctor, shit's real.
No one
Yeah.
wants to admit they have syphilis.
right. And so I was like, if I was going down, I wanted to like know other celebrities and like other people who went down. So I started like Googling like celebrities with syphilis. And the first person who came up was Scarlett Johansson.
Good for Scar.
And I was kind of like, that's probably not what she wants to be known for. And so I'm like freaking out. And like stage 1 of syphilis is the red bumps. And then stage 2 is on your parts. And
Okay.
so then I was like,
So you get red bumps on your body first, and
Yeah,
then it
and
gets
then
red
stage-
bumps on your parts?
yeah. And then stage 3 is terminal, like you're dead.
Whoa.
Yeah. And Ben Franklin died of syphilis.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so I'm
Probably
like
not what
freaking
he
out.
wants to be known for either.
No.
Just FYI.
Yeah. Like, and I haven't even invented anything, right?
You get
Like,
syphilis in your brain, it like makes
That's
you
what I'm
have
saying.
dementia.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like that you go crazy. And so I like looked and I was like,
To think they used to call it the kissing disease.
Wait,
They used
really?
to- that's
Did
what
they?
syphilis
I thought that was
called.
mono.
No, the syphilis used to be
Kisselis.
Kisselis.
Got the kisselis.
The kisselis.
Syphilis was called a kissing disease.
Oh.
So you
I
had
didn't know that.
you had
So anyway, I like freak out and I'm like looking and there's nothing. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go to the doctor. So I went to urgent care and I'm like shaking. I was crying on the way there and I was like shaking so bad, like giving my credit card and like my copay.
Yeah.
Like these are white
Smart
girl
to
problems.
go
you know?
to urgent care though, and not your like
Yeah.
general practitioner.
Yeah,
You
I don't need
them
that
knowing.
judgment. Thank
No.
you.
They might know
Yeah.
your parents.
Right.
Yeah,
Don't
fuck
tell
that.
my mom,
Yeah.
Don't tell my mom, Brian.
Dr. Brian.
We
And
went to
so-
school together, you piece of shit.
And so I'm like crying and the doctor comes in and I've already like taken my shirt off and I was like, hey. She's like, so you have a rash? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I'm seeing a lot of women your age coming in with this. And I'm like hyperventilating. Like, she was like, what's wrong? I was like, you're seeing a lot of women come in with syphilis. And she's like, what? She's like, honey, do you think you have syphilis? And I was like, what? Yeah. And I'm like snot is coming out. And she's like, no, have you been using like that organic deodorant? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, look under your arm. And it was just like red. Like that was the man. And I didn't even like look there. And I was like, oh. So for like a fucking week, I thought I had syphilis. And I thought that I was going to have to like tell my friend, oh, hey, like, you might have to apply this topical ointment, Like,
better go get a swab, dog.
But I'm clean.
Good for you.
Well, congratulations.
But it was like a lot of pressure. Like I got like really drunk like the next Saturday because I was like so stressed. Like I was like, you guys, I don't have syphilis, and everyone's like, what? That was like a concern of yours? And like I thought I might have had fleas or something, like because my cat. And so I was like hoping for fleas.
Yeah. I thought I had bed bugs once, and I remember just fucking working myself into a panic. Mm-hmm. Like I had like gone to the bathroom one night, and where I lived there was like it was right over the storm drain, right. And so we had fucking roaches all the time, but like the big ones. Mm-mm. And no matter what the fuck we did, like my roommates who owned the house would pay Green Mango to fucking come like every 3 weeks to spray. Right. And nothing would kill these fucking roaches. They kept coming in. So finally I like sealed everything. I thought it was good. Then we started getting the fucking really little, like I think they're Jerusalem cockroaches or something.
Why are they called Jerusalem cockroaches?
I think that's the name.
Noses.
They're really you wear a little yarmulke, and they got the Hebrew.
They're always eating hummus.
I want to apologize to everyone for that last statement that I made.
They just go after Hala. It was a motherfucker.
It was very white of me.
Anyway, so I get out of bed and I go take a piss, and I'm like looking on my leg, and I feel something like bite me, and then like I see a little bug fall off.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what the fuck? And so I grabbed it, and I was like fucking looking at it, and I'm sitting there like Googling what bed bugs look like, and then like I was like, what do other bugs look like?
What are other bugs?
I wanted to go, I was like fucking ready, like I need to go to ASU and find the bug guy. Like there's gotta be one, maybe Agent Grisham from fucking CSI.
I went on a date with an entomologist, and they are assholes. Yeah, he like made fun of me because he's like, oh, I just went to this convention and I heard this world-renowned centipede doctor speak, and he like said his name, and I was like, oh, I don't know him, and he's like, you don't know? This guy is like, no, I don't fucking know.
That nerd made fun of you because you didn't know the centipede doctor? Did you kick his ass?
No, but he like tried to kiss me and ask me for like a second date, and I was like, no, in what world?
In what world
did you think this went well?
Fuck, that's hysterical. Yeah. That's hysterical. Bed bugs are horrible.
Dude,
entomologists are horrible too.
Entomologists are horrible too. See, I'm glad I didn't have bed bugs and I didn't have to
consult you avoided
one.
that.
They're the bed bugs of the doctor world.
Anyway, it turned out to be one of these little not little beetles, little cockroaches.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And they're like this big.
Yeah,
bed bugs are far smaller.
That would be a huge bed bug.
Yeah, they're way smaller.
So I lived in a halfway house.
I went and wrapped all my fucking. I went and spent $200 on wrapping my mattresses and bought a bug bomb anyway. So fuck it.
Yeah. No, it's scary. Like I've been bit by a bed bug one time. Ugh. I have a scar from it.
You have a scar?
Still, yeah. They leave scars when they bite you.
Oh my god,
really?
It's terrible. They're fucking brutal. So I only got bit once. I don't know why. I kept my shit real clean. I kept my area real clean. Like.
Well, they like feed on blood.
That's exactly what they do. They fucking feed on blood.
Yeah.
So there was some guys in this house who got fucking like eaten alive at night.
Oh my god!
And like I don't know how often they showered. I don't know how well they kept their areas clean.
Yeah.
But like they would come up from what?
Talking to your mic more.
Talking to your mic more. How about that?
I do.
How about that, Bill?
I do. That's why everybody says that I'm louder.
Anyways, these dudes would be fucking just covered all over with just bites, and they bleed. And they turn into scabs and they scar. It's horrible. They take forever to heal. It's nasty. And what happens is these things, they'll like live in your shit. And they'll move into the wall. Yeah, did you see her climb into the cupboard? We got a cat in the cupboard. That's pretty adorable.
I'm sorry.
She's real slinky.
I'm sorry. She is very slinky.
She is slinky.
She's such
Is she
a monster.
kitten?
Yeah. She's a goddamn terror. We call her the Scourge of McKinley. She's a fucking at night she just does laps around the house.
Oh yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
She's
Then
got
she runs into
reasons.
my room and hits this little stuffed thing that lays on the floor and just like goes under the bed with it and slides all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
She's busy. She has
maniac.
stuff to do.
She's knocking shit over.
Look at, she's busy right now.
Nails. God damn it.
Yeah.
Fucking cat. Anyway,
This is the part on the
Okay.
podcast where we watch cats.
I love
cat
it.
watching
I love
part.
We just
cats.
watch cats.
We
We
should
just
have
watch
an
cats.
outward-facing camera that is like the cat cam.
Yeah.
See what's happening.
We do need a Meat Sweats cat
cam.
cam. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just
We'll
see what's
just put
going
that
on.
fucking toy that she wants to devour and kill right in front of it, and she'll just sit there for hours.
Tell you what, bud.
You could strap a GoPro on the cat. That'd be wild.
That's
I put a
entertaining.
See what like under your bed looks like.
I put a I mean, I know what it looks like. It's real gross.
Oh.
I put a vest on her.
Yeah.
Did she like walk backwards?
No, she took it off immediately.
Did she?
Oh.
Immediately, she was out of it. She
Yeah.
just like, fuck this thing. Are you kidding?
I had a
Like,
friend
you
who-
can't contain this.
I had a friend who knit me sweaters for my cats.
Oh, really?
And
Do you have pets?
yeah, I have 7. No, I'm just kidding.
I have 7 working on
I
I
believed
have
it.
7
I believed it,
cats and
100%.
so lonely. No, I have 2, but one is up in Iowa with my parents, but I have one down here. Didn't you meet her?
I didn't meet her. No.
Didn't you come in my room
No, I didn't. That wasn't me.
for my birthday?
That wasn't me.
You weren't there for that?
I wasn't in
Because
your
at
room.
one point,
I wasn't in your room ever.
why are you saying it like that?
I mean,
Wow.
I'm just
that makes
saying.
me feel like
I'm
you
not.
were in
I'm
my
not trying to
room.
make you feel bad, but I wasn't. That wasn't me.
Bill, have you been in Hannah's room?
That wasn't me.
No, because at one point I like gathered a bunch of people and I was like, come see my cat. And I have like a California king bed and it's in the middle of my room. And so at one point there
Humble
were 10
brag
of
on
us
the humble flex.
standing. Hey, I'm renting it.
Humble
It's like,
flex.
and we were like all standing. There were like 10 of us standing around my bed and I was like, there's my cat. It was the weirdest thing.
Your
And no
birthday.
one like said anything and they're like, cool.
I've never felt worse as a man than on your birthday
Why?
because I just got destroyed
Oh, in
during
beer
that
pong?
beer pong game.
Oh, did
Like,
you get wrecked?
Oh, and
Yeah,
it was so.
he
it
was real mad.
I
Yeah.
wasn't mad. I was just very ashamed.
Hannah says you were very mad.
I was ashamed.
Okay.
Maybe your
and
shame face
ashamed
looks like
came
your
out
mad
as
face.
anger.
Well, yeah, you weren't happy with
No, I
what was going
I
on.
was very ashamed with myself.
Yeah. It was
I-
a lot, though.
I didn't have my glasses, and I was continuously bitching like I can't make a shot because I don't have my glasses. So then, someone went and got me my glasses.
Yeah.
Do you wear glass? I've never seen you
I
wear
wear
glasses.
contacts.
Okay.
Yeah, primarily I wear contacts, and
Okay.
my eyes were all fucked up that day, so I couldn't wear them. And Matt Micheletti went and got my glasses, brought them back in, and then I continued to not make a shot that entire fucking game.
Wow, that's
It was
real
a long
embarrassing.
game, though, too. Like
It was.
They
It took
had it all
forever.
set up. Like it was very professionally run. I didn't play. Like
Yeah.
I'm the worst at beer pong, and like people are always like, "Hey, come play," and I'm like, "I don't think you want me to." Like I'm not good at that. Like I'm good at flip cup. I can do that at beer pong. Like
Yeah.
I'll get drunk. Like don't worry, I will be very drunk. Yeah, like I don't need a game about it. Like
I don't need a
I'll get
game
wasted.
to make me want to
Yeah.
get fucked up.
I'm pretty good at beer pong.
Are you?
I'm a super competitive person.
See, I'm not.
I went to a party with my girlfriend, and we were playing beer pong in the pool.
Oh,
And,
floating
like,
beer pong?
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
It is a game changer. And she wanted to be on my team, and I told her she couldn't be on my team because she wasn't good enough to be on my team.
Oh my God.
Like,
Oh.
that's how competitive I am.
That's very competitive.
See, I'm not competitive at all, and I think that frustrates people.
Yeah.
That I'm not like I'm competitive with myself. Like I'll remember things, and I'll be fuck you, but like not. Like I'm not good on teams because I'm just like,
You're
oh,
just
well,
like, oh well,
yeah,
it's okay.
yeah, but like I don't know. That was a fun time. Like everybody played beer pong.
I was sore.
didn't
I
have
was
a fun
sore
time.
about it.
That's okay.
I was sore about. No, it was a great party.
It was a
I
great
had a lot of
party.
fun at the
Yeah.
party. But as far as like getting just utterly murked by two very attractive women, and
Yeah.
the shorter of the two came
Vit.
over and just really just.
She
turned the knife.
She's like that.
She
Yeah.
turned
Yeah.
the knife. She's just like, I just made this pudgy little fuck feel like shit. And I'm
That's
just gonna
fun.
keep doing it.
So she's my friend from Yelp, and she there was this girl at the party who was like going around and like asking people if they were single, and like it was kind of weird. Like she never had like a follow up. Like she came up to Vit and was like, "Hey, are you single?" And Vit goes, "Yeah, but I'm gay as hell and crazy as hell. What do you want?" And the girl goes, "What?" Vit's like, "What the fuck do you want?" And then just like the girl walked away, and she's like, "Do you know her?" I was like, "No, I don't know what that was. I'm so sorry for that interaction." I think you handled it well, Vit.
That's hilarious.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, she was just the.
Yeah, and she was wearing like sunglasses and yellow heels.
She looked like Boy George, but but a chick,
That's funny.
like a really pretty girl, but like Boy George
She's-
garb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's Portuguese,
Portuguese, ooh, fiery people. You don't fuck
Nice.
with the Portuguese.
especially in beer pong.
No,
Their life, yeah.
no, it was a mistake.
I'm
Big
sorry you got
mistake.
emasculated at Hannah's birthday.
Oh yeah, I
Like-
relive it nightly.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, I just
Write it
replaced
in
Jesus
your
my
Christ.
journal.
We need to get you some fucking EMDR is what we need to do,
What is
buddy. It's a therapy technique where we kind of relive some past traumas,
Oh,
but
God.
we do some things. Like we trigger your
Are you
left
gonna
brain and the
shock
right
me
brain.
with a fucking?
Why,
I feel
why
like
do you
this
know
is-
this?
I've
Because
done so much therapy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is this like Scientology
No,
stuff?
he was in a cult.
Oh.
It is. You know what? It kind of is like Scientology stuff.
Oh.
So they put these things in your hands and they
Uh-huh.
vibrate.
Oh no,
I'm so into
They
this.
alternate vibrating.
Matt's starting
Yeah.
his cult again.
Oh, absolutely.
He's
I'm in.
But like,
Do I need to shave
you
my
have to-
head?
no,
I mean, if you want
No.
to.
So
You
no.
want
Actually,
to.
Matt's cult is you stop shaving.
oh,
Yeah,
oh, no,
it's
thank
real,
you.
It's real hairy. It's
we've
a
already
real
done
hairy
this.
It's a
cult.
very furry cult.
I'm not doing it.
No, they do this thing where they noticed if you trigger your left brain and your right brain at the same time and then like relive traumatic events, it takes the trauma out of it.
Do they
So
just
it's like a healthy way of getting rid of trauma and not having to relive the cycles of shit that come from
Can I just do
trauma.
Can I just do some Molly? Can I just do that? Yeah. Can we just?
I
Can
don't
we just
know.
go to CVS and buy Molly now? Like
It's
they've
just right
been
next
doing
to
the
Plan B.
studies. They've been
Yeah.
doing the studies.
I don't know that it has the same effect.
Is
If
it
we
like
can, if we can kill a kid with a pill over the counter, which is what Plan B is,
Oh, okay. But it's not a kid
we
yet.
should be. I mean,
It's just like a mistake. It's like an afterthought.
truth.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we can make
Just a
that
sack.
happen, if we can do that, we should definitely be able to, think that walls that are drywall are made of fur after taking a
I've
pill.
never done Molly.
I've never done Molly either. So
Back to your
I haven't
thing.
what's my thing? Yeah.
So, like, do they ask you, like, triggering questions? Because I know, like, with Scientology, they're like, how was your day? And then they're like, my day was good. And then they're like, what did you have for lunch? Or they, like, start
No.
asking, and then they, like,
No,
lead
no,
up,
no,
and
no.
they're like,
No, it's totally different.
oh, I went and had lunch with Matt. And then it's like, how was Matt? And then it's
Yeah.
like, well, Matt said he was mad about his turkey sandwich. And they're like, why was Matt? And then they, like, trigger,
Yeah.
like, all these, like, snowball questions to, like,
Right.
see what's really up. How I'm, like, how do you get rid of your
You
suppressed
just-
memory?
It's not getting rid of the memory. It's just taking the trauma out of it. It's taking the
Okay.
sting out of it. You know what I mean?
It
It's
doesn't make
taking
you feel bad
it's taking
anymore.
the negative
Okay.
shit. It's negating it.
Okay.
So you kind of have to go through your therapist and you kind of lay out like the web of like this
What's-
is my life.
Okay.
These are the traumatic events. These are the areas I'm stuck. This seems to be what it stems from. This is this pattern that I can't
wanna
stop
do that.
doing. And then you do like kind of some thought work and like kind of some meditation where you kind of like create a safe space. Like you have like a safe space that you can go back to, and then like you kind of
back to in your head.
Back to in your head,
Okay.
yeah. So then like in your head, they'll like start taking you through stuff, and they'll trigger these vibrating things. Sometimes they'll put headphones on so you hear like alternating sounds in each ear. They can do it where they just tap on your legs, like alternating. Like I've had them do that to me.
How high are they tapping on your leg there, man?
Just on your knees.
Just like your balls.
All it is just creating a sensation between your left and right brain where it does this thing where it's like then they'll start like they'll be like, all right, let's go back to this point in your life, and then like they'll kind of take you through it, but instead of like taking through it to like a negative end where there's no solution, they'll kind of create a resolution at the end of it.
Okay.
And so then like that's the story now. The story is like this happened and here's the resolution, and it's not something that
Instead
fucks
of like
with me anymore.
Instead of like 3 years of like holding a memory in, and then like you finally forgive someone on your yoga mat and you cry about it.
I mean, that's one way to do it too. Like
I just read that somebody did that.
you just read that, yeah.
Yeah, it was in a magazine.
Yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
not a
me.
thing I did.
Yeah, no.
I don't even do yoga.
No,
so,
I don't have two yoga mats in my
I
car.
do yoga, but I don't forgive.
That's true. That is a very Bill.
You know, I sometimes think of that episode of The Hills when, I mean, you know it, the line.
Okay.
When Lauren says, she's
Bill?
like, I want to.
Did you see me walking covered in sawdust?
Yeah,
You
but
think
like,
I watched The Hills?
When Elsie.
Then
when
again,
she
I
goes,
did watch all of Flavor of Love and
Okay.
rewatched it again recently.
Yes. I want to rewatch it. Like, it's
great.
Because my
It's
first
fantastic.
Trash Talks was over Flavor of Love.
Was it?
It was the episode when Hottie cooks the chicken in the microwave.
Oh my god!
And I
that
did-
bitch.
I
Dude,
did
Hottie
an-
can go fucking die. I'm
She
sorry.
is
She's
crazy.
the worst. She
Like, and
was
I don't
the
like to call
worst.
people crazy, but
She's crazy.
she had those like eyes that say
They're-
like, "I'll light your house on fire."
Yeah, there's nothing.
And smile.
No emotions behind there.
No, like
No.
all of the lights are off.
Yeah,
in that house.
she
That's scary.
probably would have bathed in your blood if you did something she didn't like.
Yeah.
Just real psycho.
She'd
That's
tear off
scary.
your head and shit down your neck and like say she didn't.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, and
Yeah.
just just the craziest liar that you've ever seen. Like she's on a lie detector at one point. Bridget Nielsen is grilling her with questions
Oh god.
About Foofy.
about Foofy.
What is a foofy?
Foofy's
Flavor
flavor
Flav.
Flav.
Oh.
That's what Bridget Nielsen calls Flavor
Gross.
Flav. The entire
That's
time
so
is,
gross.
is Foofy.
You know, like
That's
she's
so
like 6'7"
gross.
and
Oh.
he's 4'9".
I remember. I watched
He's
that.
my hero just for dating Bridget Nielsen.
I
'Cause,
watched
like,
Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah,
anytime you gotta get on a step stool to give your woman a kiss,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that relationship.
She like carried that around
Yeah.
too.
I remember
Yeah.
watching them.
well, she would
on
have to.
The Surreal Life.
Oh,
So that's where they got together. Was
Yeah.
on the Surreal Life.
yeah.
And then
that was
spun
the
whole-
genesis of it.
That
Yeah.
was
The
the
genesis of their love.
That show used to be amazing.
Surreal
that was
Life?
a great one. Vern Troyer.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
about to say that. Like,
And he like
Jose
peed in the
Canseco.
corner. He got so drunk and then he was like riding around and then
Yeah.
he peed in the corner and he was naked.
I've been friends
Who
with
found him
I don't remember who
peeing?
found
Or
him.
was it
but
just like the camera
I
crew
think
and they're
it
like,
was
just
a
let it
camera crew,
happen?
just let it happen. And he was just riding. He pissed off the side of a Rascal scooter. Like,
Yeah.
how dope is that?
Oh man.
He stood up on the seat and he peed off a
Yeah,
Rascal.
he was standing and he's still just like a. Did he die?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
dead.
he's very
He's
dead.
dead.
Super dead.
Super dead.
Listen.
Waited.
I'm pretty sure he was a big fan of cocaine, and that little heart just can't. Just can't handle the
honestly,
tuners.
I've met a couple little people, and
Are you about to make some generalizations here?
No.
Do we need
Is
to
this
put a
about
trigger warning out?
cocaine or where are we going?
just
urinating.
the
Peeing in corners.
no, I mean,
Doing
little
tutors.
people just like to drink. Every little person I've ever met is like,
Because they
just.
want to fit in.
I mean, I don't know what it is.
They want to feel normal. They want to feel like
I mean,
their
I'm
problems
on
aren't
the
so
shorter
big.
side of things, and I drink quite a bit. So, like,
Yeah.
On
you
average,
know.
what's my excuse? I'm 5'5" and I just like to drink.
Sometimes you just
Five
like to
feet
drink.
short
I'm like in the sweet spot. Like
Yeah.
I can
For-
wear
for a
heels.
girl, yeah.
Yeah, I
For
can
a
wear
girl,
like heels
what is it?
and Like I think
5'5" to 5'7" is supposedly the
5'6" is like the average height.
I think
Yeah.
5'7" is.
I think 5'7"
And
I would
5'11" is a
consider
dude?
tall for a girl.
No, a guy is 5'9", 5'10".
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I mean-
people are getting bigger. Don't
Oh,
you?
100%.
You think people are getting bigger?
Yes.
Like there's more bigger people in the world.
Wait, describe bigger. What does bigger mean?
like bone
like taller?
structure.
like taller, bigger. Like look at like construction in like 1800s construction.
Well, yeah.
Like you go into any of these houses
have-
in New England and stuff, and they're all tiny and
We have a
tight.
steady supply of food.
Yeah,
We have
Steroids.
doctors.
We're not
Yeah.
dying at 35.
true. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
think like people have gotten bigger over the years.
I guess that makes
100%.
sense.
Well, so when I was in San Diego yesterday, we were at that like wharf thing and they had the Bob Hope statue with like the soldiers around. And I was standing next to them and they are all very small statured men and they're like life
like
size.
life
And I
size?
felt like huge next to them.
If you go to
Yeah.
if you like look at any of the old timey pictures like of dudes next to like redwoods and stuff, like people are all tiny.
Those,
Yeah,
those
they're like-
redwoods
they're like-
were giant
That's a
fucking
bad
trees.
example.
Though. That's a
That
terrible
is a bad
example.
example.
That's the worst example you could
Or like
possibly pick.
old timey miner, like old
Yeah.
mining
Hey,
photos
you
Yeah,
guys
they're
and
like
shit.
5'3" with like little tiny waists, but their bones are hollow and full of coal.
Do you guys know like the biggest tree that exists, man?
No, but I know
Like,
about the oldest. You fuck.
those pictures of those dudes. They're so tiny.
Actually,
They're small.
what is the biggest tree called? It
Yeah,
has
the
a certain
redwoods,
name.
sequoias.
No, there's like the biggest
It
one.
doesn't matter. You don't know what it is.
I
You're
don't
just making
know.
this up.
It's got a
I
name.
didn't know
You're
I was
pulling
coming
this
on
out
to
of your
talk about
ass.
trees.
Hey,
You
we
could Google
love nature on Meat Sweats. We are green
That's
as fuck.
true. That's true.
I don't care about nature.
I like
Really.
nature.
Not,
I
I'm
like,
not.
I like
He's
it.
just trying
I
to
don't
be a
go out of my
contrarian
way.
right now.
I'm not being contrarian. I don't
That's
care.
what a contrarian would say.
Don't care. My
right.
convenience is much more important until we start holding these companies accountable. Nothing I do as an individual is going to matter.
That is true.
So
I don't know why you think I have an opinion. Like you're both looking at me like, let's get her.
Yeah.
Like,
what
Hannah,
do you
your
have to
turn.
say, Hannah?
What do you think about the state of the environment?
I can tell.
Tell
Okay,
us
so
how you feel about fracking.
oh no, I don't want to do that. I'd lose all my clout.
Tell us about Iowa. What's Iowa like?
Oh really?
Are you
Yeah.
from Iowa?
Yeah.
Here's-
No shit.
I want to make a
Where at?
confession.
Like,
Okay.
like
I want to make a confession real quick. To me, Idaho, Iowa, Ohio, all the same place.
You are
nothing,
the only person who's ever said that ever.
Nothing discernible about any of them. I just see one mass of
Idaho-
corn. I'm assuming
Nope.
there's just
No.
corn everywhere.
well, there's a lot
No,
of corn in
so-
Iowa, but
Yeah.
Idaho is actually very mountainous.
Yes,
Listen,
Idaho's
I don't know that. I'm not going to
gorgeous.
remember that. I'm just saying.
Idaho's considered like the Pacific Northwest.
Idaho, okay.
I can see the confusion with Iowa and Ohio, although
Actually-
Ohio is a strange state.
No, I just
Like
You know what? You know why I could. He's maybe the Iowa Idaho thing is because of just a lot of white supremacists. You know,
you know
both
what?
of them have a lot of those.
I grew up in
Yeah,
the
true.
mountains with very little education.
I'm not
so-
judging. I'm not
no,
making
like
fun.
no, you
Like,
you
I
can
am.
make fun.
I'm making fun.
It doesn't matter.
Like-
Like it's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm just saying. Like I know.
He did that thing, so he doesn't have anymore. They
When I-
fucking shocked him out of him.
Yeah, I have.
don't know states.
There's nothing. I don't know states. I don't have any traumatic feelings, and I don't know states anymore.
It's
he
all just
also
a
he also
blur.
thinks everything tastes like popcorn.
You're just
Most things taste like popcorn.
they're like,
It's
what
pretty
state are
delicious.
you in? And it's like you're colorblind. You're like, it's gray. Arizona. Like,
Gray
it's all
state.
you know.
I'm in a gray state.
Pretty accurate.
But yeah, I grew up in Iowa, about like 10 minutes south of Des Moines, which is the capital.
How big is Des Moines?
It's growing. It's the number one like growing city in the Midwest.
That doesn't mean much to me.
So it's about 500,000. roughly.
500,000. Oh, wow.
It's getting up there, yeah.
There is nobody in Des Moines.
That's not true. That's big.
That's tiny.
No, it's
We were just
That's
in
so
Albuquerque,
small.
and Albuquerque has like 750, and that
okay.
place was
Do
just
not compare us
disgusting.
to Albuquerque.
What?
I
We have
mean,
insurance. Like we're the insurance capital of
Actually,
the U.S.
that's pretty accurate. I feel like.
Yeah,
All the
it's
insurance
very like
companies.
like Nationwide has the second largest headquarters there. Let's see. So, what do you want to know?
Did you do you have any brothers?
Yeah, I have a brother. He's 32.
Was he like I was a big like wrestling state.
Yeah,
Was he a
so
wrestler?
he
you guys ever
wrestled.
go
He
to-
played
Fuck
football.
yeah, he did.
He has guns. He knows how to like skin a squirrel.
Does he also have a MAGA hat?
Don't do this to me. Come on, guys. I want to be friends.
I mean, we
great.
are.
He's
We
a
are.
good
We are. We're friends. We can be friends. We're friends. I
Oh
promise.
man, he has other great attributes.
Most people that own those do.
He worked on wind turbines.
Oh yeah.
So he was like stationed like all over the country. And so what's funny is he spent like 3 years in southern Pennsylvania, which is like West Virginia.
Yeah.
It's a weird,
It's very
weird
strange.
place. And he was there during like the Penn State thing, like the Sandusky.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
So he was there during like a real trying time. And people who were like defending it too. So he,
Ooh.
yeah,
Oh,
that was
that's a bad
that
defense.
was
That's a bad
yeah,
thing
that
to
was
defend.
interesting.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to jump
It's like the
behind.
people that like get behind like a known proven serial killer. Like there's all the evidence and people are like, we should free him. And you're just like, are you fucking kidding?
Maybe they want him to kill more people,
Maybe.
in which case I'm all for freeing him.
You know
Yeah.
what? We do need some form of population control.
I know, like another plague would be nice, or if like there was a real Dexter.
That or
Like
I
a
was thinking more like
vigilante.
a Starship Troopers scenario.
You know what I'm
like,
thinking?
Oh,
You have to go serve in the military to become a citizen and able to
oh,
have kids.
They do that in
Otherwise, you're
Germany.
sterile.
Oh, they don't do that in Germany. Never
Yeah, they
mind.
just give you one of those chemical cocktails.
I would be a big fan of just a Thanos snap.
Yeah?
Just half everything is just gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
Thanos snap.
if I have to be one of the guys that goes, I'll do it for the greater
You'd
good.
go?
For the greater good, hell yeah.
okay.
What about your kids?
Listen, I can't make that decision for them.
Which one would you like?
Which one would I get rid? Which one of my kids would I get rid of? People have asked me this before.
What? No,
wouldn't-
I was kidding. Please don't answer.
I-
I don't have an answer.
Here's the one I would murder. Are you trying to make me do marry, fuck, kill my kids? That's
No,
terrible,
oh my
Hannah.
God, no,
That's
don't do this to
disgusting.
me.
That is so gross.
Oh, I'm not.
Why would you whisper that?
But my brother, one of the funniest things he's like, this is one of the funniest stories he's ever told me. And like, I don't know if he remembers telling me, but he said that there was this weird dude like on his team when he was in southern Pennsylvania.
Uh-huh.
And he only wore like a Steelers jersey and denim cutoffs in Skechers shape ups for men.
Like
Did
every
you ask
day?
him for a number?
Yeah, I'm dating him. And
It's the love of my life. His name's Troy.
Love of my life.
His name would be Troy.
It would be Troy, and he would drink like a
absolutely
lot
Troy.
of Monster energy drink. You
energy
know?
drinks, and the chiladas.
Yeah.
That's how he cooled
Ew,
the
a
day
warm
down.
chilada,
Ooh.
like a room temperature chilada. So he came
This
up to
fucking
Colin and was like humming S&M by Rihanna.
Ooh.
And then he's like, "Hey, what are you doing later?" And Colin's like, not going to my room, my hotel room. He's like, "You want to watch Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?" Colin was like, "Nope," because that would be the last thing that he would see alive.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that would be
He was either
Yeah.
like maybe a little touch of the tism or a serial killer.
both.
Maybe both.
Absolutely,
That's
both.
amazing.
I don't feel
Yeah,
like people
isn't
with
that
the
like
tism
a great
kill people.
thing? Like
Yeah.
all of those. Yeah, so that's my brother. And then my dad is a chef.
Oh, cool.
For like fries here, we have Hy-Vee in the Midwest, and
That
so
sounds like an STD. I just want to let you know that.
it's
What's wrong with you, Hannah?
You got
I
the-
got the Hy-Vee.
That sounds like what you had in the first story you told us. Get the Hy-Vees.
she got the heavies. And so he was like the head chef, like wrote all the original recipes for like their kitchen. And like Hy-Vee has like you can fucking now buy like khakis next to like
So
you can get Chinese
they
food
are
and
the
stuff.
fries.
Yeah, and it's like super nice and So he wrote all like the original recipes for that, and he opened a lot of stores. And then my mom is a pianist and an organ. I know it sounds like penis. I 100% know. So
I was more intrigued by the organist portion.
So she can play the organ.
What other organs?
Or the pian? Or she can play the pian? Is the organ or the pian?
Dick.
The dick?
Oh, that's what you wanted to
she's
say.
obviously proficient at it. She has 2 children.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Come on, Bill. That's her mom.
That's my mom. That's gay.
That's her mother.
Show some respect.
So Matt talks about like just destroying my mother on the regular, so I have no respect for anybody else's mom.
Listen, just because me and your mom are in love doesn't mean you have to attack Hannah's mother like that.
Please
Wasn't
don't.
attacking.
All right.
Show some respect. She's a guest.
Go fuck yourself.
She's a guest.
Go fuck yourself.
I got drunk in like cornfields.
Yep.
When's the first time you got drunk?
How old were you?
How old were you?
It was Labor Day weekend of my freshman year of high school.
Okay, so you were 15?
Makes sense.
I was 14. I was almost 15. And it was a weird time because like my friend Katie Ellingson was staying the night, and my dad came downstairs like in our basement, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to bed. Do whatever you want."
He probably didn't mean get drunk. Just
yeah, and like it was the weirdest thing because he would
Maybe
never like tell us that he was going to bed, and 2, he would never say like do whatever you want.
Right.
But in our 14-year-old brains, he's like telling us to go get drunk. So
it's like, get drunk, you 14-year-olds.
So we went upstairs to my parents' like huge liquor cabinet and just like grabbed every bottle, and we're like, "What's this?" Like, and just like
taking shots out of
everything
off the bottle.
Wow.
And it's like
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and like I remember I took a shot of gin, and then I threw it up in like the basement like storm drain. I was like, this like it burned like, and then I drank like bourbon and just vodka, and I was like, we were playing Grand Theft Auto Miami Vice, and I like didn't know what to do with my body. Like I didn't know like this new feeling. Like I was like, what is this?
I feel like a Jello person.
Yeah, and I felt like a cartoon, you know, like, and I just felt like a big goof. And my brother came home and he was drunk, and I was like, "Is this a gun?" And he was like, "What the fuck, Hannah?" Like, no, like, and I was very like, I don't know. I was always scared to do stuff. I was always loud and like goofy, but like if it came to anything like bad or like rule breaking, I was like Chucky Fenster. Like I was like, "I don't know, guys, you know, like I don't think so." And then like I was like wasted. And then like after that we would do Heymans.
What is a Heyman?
Like where you go to a parking lot and you just say "Hey man" to a guy, and then you give him cash. You give him like 2 $5 bills and 19 ones, and you're like, "Buy booze," you know. And
luckily at that point in my life, like when I started buying booze, I was working at McDonald's, and just any McDonald's manager on the face of the planet will buy you booze if you're a minor working for them.
Well, any restaurant, like the manager would absolutely buy you booze.
Yeah, I worked at the movie theater, and I like got all my friends hired, and we would just drink in the theater after work. And my friend Jay, he's a blind Asian guy, and so sometimes when my dad would find Jay's the man.
Jay sounds awesome.
Jay's the dude.
Just the fact that he's your friend and then he's a blind Asian on top of that, pretty cool.
And so my dad would find like my cheap vodka in my car and be like, "Hannah, what the fuck is it?" And he'd be like, "Who bought this?" And I'd be like, "A blind Asian guy." And he's like, "You're gonna tell me one of these days, like who I'm gonna find out." And then like he came to a movie and saw Jay, and he's like, "God damn it, Hannah!" He like put it all together that I was telling the truth.
Love it.
Yeah,
fucking hiding in plain sight. That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
Hannah might be a serial killer.
No,
she's adept at that. That fucking,
she's got too much range of emotion like going on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just really good acting.
No.
I mean,
shit, it could be. Like usually they're not that good of actors, though.
I don't know.
Although Ted Bundy,
he's like the notorious one for like being handsome and like,
charismatic.
What about BTK? That motherfucker was like the president of his church congregation, and like just. He was a family man, and everybody that was interviewed was like, "I would have never in a million years fucking thought it was him."
Well, so here's an Iowa fun fact.
Yes.
The guy. Why am I blanking on his name?
Damn it.
No, John Wayne Gacy,
Yes.
the clown killer.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was originally.
Yeah, he lived in Waterloo, which is like where I went to college.
Okay.
And he worked at like the KFC. His parents owned it or something like that.
Okay.
And I took a journalism class, and the professor brought in like the detective that worked on the case, like, and went and like met him and like knew him. And I'm like, so I listened to My Favorite Murder and all these like murder podcasts.
I love that shit.
Yeah. So I was like 19, like taking notes, asking questions, and everyone's like, what the hell is wrong with Hannah? Why is she so obsessed with this? And I was like asking him
It's
shit
so
afterwards.
interesting.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I watched a bunch of interviews with Ed.
Gein?
No, Ed Gein was really old.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the? Oh god damn it! He was
Norton. He's taken a life. Edward Norton has taken a life.
He's taken
He's
several.
several
Those eyes.
lives.
Yes, him and
women
Jake
probably
Gyllenhaal.
just die
Yeah.
when they look at sweet young Ed Norton's face.
He's not young anymore.
He's
No,
too
he's
hard
old now.
looking. He has a hard face.
He does have a hard face,
You know
but
what I
someone
mean?
like some people like that striking,
The
those striking
angles,
features.
yeah.
But like when
It
he
has to be a little
smiles, there's still a deadness in his
There's
eyes.
There's cold.
It's like you don't know how to smile,
Like a
motherfucker.
Dementor. Yeah.
You can't really smile.
Sorry, I
Do you
ruined
remember
it. Mindhunter?
Mindhunter.
That
Did you see that show?
Yes.
What was the first guy's name?
the giant man?
Yeah, what's
oh my
his
god. Because I started watching it because he came on My Favorite Murder, and he like was interviewed at the end. And the guy is like a real normal dude.
He's when you hear him
Real
talk,
sweet.
he's just like he seems like any normal person.
Yeah.
But and then he's talking about murdering these people, and he's like actually got empathy for it. I
Yeah.
wish I could remember the fucking guy's name.
Oh my god.
He cut his mom's head off and fucked it.
Fucked her neck.
Yeah, like
Because
The neck
the
hole?
neck would like swallow up and it would like be tight on it.
Which did he fuck the head part or the body part?
body part, I
the
think.
body part, like the
Wow.
neck hole.
Yeah.
Because he came home from a date, right? Or a party.
he'd just come home from somewhere, and she was like, "I'm sure you just want to sit up and talk all night or something."
Said something like snarky. Like she wasn't a loving mother.
No, the reason he was killing people is because he was like essentially every woman he killed, he was killing his mom in his mind.
Yeah. And taking it apart.
Oh god, what the
And-
fuck is this guy's name?
I'll look.
Yeah, we do have
We do have the
have
internet.
Google.
We
I'm
all
sitting
have
on my phone
smartphones.
right
We're like,
now,
oh, never
so I would
know.
have had to move, and that's just
You lazy,
I'm real comfy.
you lazy
Real
person,
comfy
Bill.
right now.
How dare you?
I want to say his last name starts with like an N or something, or K. God damn it. He's such a it's just so fucking
He was
weird.
one of the creepiest ones, I think.
I tell you what, I've said this before on the podcast, but I went to the National Crime and Punishment Museum, and they have John Wayne Gacy's, one of his clown suits there. It's
no, thank you.
I left like after that. I was done. I couldn't take it anymore. The serial killers is where I just like walking through that section of the museum. I felt real slimy, and I was just like, I got to be done now.
Edmund Kemper.
Kemper. Fuck.
Kemper.
Ed Kemper.
Ed Kemper. Yeah, that would I wouldn't be able to. I don't know if I could see that.
They had clown costumes. They had like some of the art that he had done.
He painted a lot.
They
too.
had some of
They're
Manson's
always
art.
artists.
They are.
Yeah.
I don't. What's
Oh
the
man, I went out on a date with a chick who was like,
super into it?
she ended up telling me that she was into murderabilia, like, and that she was in love with Ed
Kemper?
not Kemper,
Gein.
Gein.
Did she have a lampshade?
She had a letter.
Shut the fuck up.
She had a letter that she sent him a letter in prison. He sent her a letter back.
No.
He sent her a
No.
letter back. She had this letter in a picture frame on the wall. She never opened it.
No.
So she has a letter from him on the wall. She had all kinds of other
You
shit.
had sex with this
I
person,
didn't have sex
you?
with her, no.
Oh, good.
I would have. I totally would have. But that would have been it.
That would have been it. That would have.
Just
Yeah,
the one
she would've
time of
killed you.
sex.
Oh
Well,
my
She would've fucking
God.
well,
killed
listen,
you.
I obviously don't want to hang out with this person long term. I just would have had sex with her because I like having sex. I'm a person who likes to do that.
I
So,
mean, I get it.
you know, whatever.
But like,
Judge me.
that's like that's too much that she wanted to
other
have
shit.
the contact with him. Like,
Yeah.
I get, like, let's say, like, you found
It's
out that
weird
he
that she
lived in
didn't
your
open it.
house, or, like, you lived in his old house. That would be cool.
I couldn't quite like figure out why she didn't open it either. Like
That's weird.
And I think part of it was like, I think she kind of might have realized how weird it was.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
she was
No.
scared.
She probably thought it was, like, worth money. That was, like,
Unopened?
her, yeah.
Maybe.
That was, like, her ticket.
Yeah.
People
could be.
paid big money for that
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
She did, yeah. That was I wrote a whole paper in law school about it actually.
Really?
About
Yeah.
her?
But no, not about her. About
Murderabilia?
about murderabilia.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Just
What
because
was
there's.
like in your research? Did you ever like what was the highest dollar amount for anything that you had found?
I don't know that I found the high dollar amount, and it was so long ago that I don't remember like the specific numbers. But I basically wrote a paper that was on the whole trend, on who's getting the money, on how they're doing it, and where the money should actually go.
It's like I mean, my YouTube right now. I've been watching a lot of like serial killer documentaries
Yeah,
and stuff,
same. It's all murder.
and it's just there's just so fucking many.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. And then like I get to the point where like I went to San Diego and then I Googled San Diego murders or like murders that happen in San Diego. Like, why do I do that? I don't want to know.
There
Like,
was when we just drove out to Albuquerque this weekend. Shout out to Kilt Check Brewery in Albuquerque. They were fantastic, very nice people to us. And Six Sun Production for putting on the show. Anyway, there was nothing on the traffic things about actual traffic. Every one of them said, if you see something, say something, human trafficking. They're really there's a show on Netflix right now. It's like a 5-part miniseries.
yeah, about
And-
the human trafficking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking just so mind-boggling that this shit just...
Happens like right there.
Well, I mean, you live in this bubble, which is your life that
Yeah.
you go in and out of every day, and you don't think that you just block the nefarious shit out.
Yeah. Well, that's like what's so fascinating about true crime and like why people get interested in it is because you're like, oh my God, that was my neighbor. Or,
Yeah.
like there's always like some connection and like a realness to it because like you as a normal person can't imagine like actually doing that. So it's so fascinating
Never.
when like you learn that somebody who had like any sort of connection to you, like in your real world, did something so heinous.
I had a dude who I went to high school with him. I used to race stock cars with him when I was a kid. Like, we used to drink together all the time. And last year, he killed his wife and killed himself.
Holy shit.
Like,
No.
fucking leveled a shotgun, boom, and then boom. And, like, their kid was in the house.
Whoa.
Like, and I mean, thank God he wasn't a, like, complete family annihilator and,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
kid's alive, but... It
That
was just
kid's gonna
like
be
I
fucked
never would have thought this guy.
No.
This guy, every time you saw him, greeted you with the biggest fucking smile. Like I knew
Wow.
I knew he drank a lot and stuff, but he fucking just what the fuck happened? Like
did he
you
snap? Do you think
I don't
it was
know.
I don't
Was it a snap? Was it like a temporary psychosis or something? Like you'll never know.
No.
It was so fucking crazy. And I mean, I'm from a town of 16,000 people. Like small fucking
Yeah,
town. Shit
same.
like that doesn't happen.
Right.
We also had a guy get killed by a samurai sword.
Did it fall off his wall?
Is that how
No, that would have
did
been
it get
me.
caught in
That's
his
how I
cloak?
would have been died. So this dude, these two guys came. I was working at a bar, and these two guys came to the bar, and I knew the one. His name was Ra Ra. Well, that's just what we called him. I don't know his real name. And this young kid, and I let Ra Ra in. I'm like, I asked to see the kid's ID, and he like just tries to like flip it at me, you know. And I was like, get the fuck out of here! Like, either hand it to me or leave.
Yeah.
And so they left. And then that night, I guess they got in an argument about drug money. And Ra Ra and his girlfriend, and I had known her. I can't remember her name though. Cut him up with a sword. And then they tried to cover their tracks by dragging the body. So they tied him to the back of their car and drug him for miles so that
What
he couldn't
the
be identified.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. Like, there was some real like, just sleepy little town in Nowheresville, North Dakota, and there's some creepy shit that happened.
You're from North Dakota?
Yeah.
Where?
Jamestown.
Okay, because I have family in North Dakota.
Where?
Outside of Bismarck, obviously, and then
Like Mandan or...
Mandan?
I don't know, like my whole grandma's side is
Mandan?
from North
Mandan,
Dakota.
There's Minot. Why not Minot? There's
I can think of a few reasons.
Minot's awful.
I didn't know you were from there.
Yeah, Minot, North Dakota is where just every dream has gone to die that's ever existed.
Oh my gosh,
That's a really
it's gonna
shitty
drive me-
place. There's Devil's Lake, which do you ever see the documentary Jesus Camp?
No.
Yes,
That was at Devil's Lake in Devil's Lake, North Dakota.
I don't know what that is.
they live in like Langdon.
Okay, yeah, I know. Langdon is
Went to, like,
right
New
outside
England.
of Bismarck.
Yeah,
Yep.
New England High School. Yeah, I didn't know you were from North Dakota.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been there a bunch.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's weird.
real
It's
gross.
everybody gets like really fucked up,
Yep. Everybody drinks real hard.
like hard.
It feels like it literally
I
like
feel like that's just what people do in all those cold places.
Okay.
Is they just get shitty drunk. That's the only way you can cope with it.
So I like had to explain it to my friends down here that
Yeah.
like there's a difference between like Midwest drunk and like everybody everywhere else.
Right.
Like Midwest drunk is like you're sitting and you slam like 6 beers as you're sitting and then you stand up and then you're like, okay, so now what are we doing? Like that's what it is. Because you like sit and talk and play card games, or you just like sit and talk and like shoot the shit.
or just do beer bongs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like
Honestly, it's like I'm with you though. It's like you're trying to stave off the cold. Like every time I've gone home, I get shit housed, and I walk home to my mom's house because I don't feel it.
yeah.
I lived in a place for most of my life that was cold for 5 months. You know, I lived in the mountains here in Arizona. It's cold for 5 months.
It's cold up there right now. It's just up there.
Yeah.
It's
It wasn't warm.
it's not the same though.
It isn't the
Like,
same kind of cold.
I don't know. Like,
You ever
yeah, I'm
seen
sure it's not the
-60?
same.
You ever seen -60?
Yeah.
But I
Have
was
your
out in s-
boogers ever frozen in your nose?
But I was outside in it all the time. I work construction. I
Yeah.
was outside all day in the fucking cold.
I
Like,
love it. He's so cute right
bundles,
now.
so-
trying
I
to-
know. I'm
Whatever.
like, all right, cool.
You know what?
Is it so cold? Is
both
it
you
chilly?
guys,
I used
both
to
you
fi-
guys
I
can
used to
fuck
fish
off.
on.
So
I
how
used
about
to
that?
fish on 3.5
Oh, you're
feet ice.
fishing. You're fishing. You're doing a
Ice
fucking
fishing.
leisure activity.
No, it's
Suck
to
a dick.
survive.
Suck a dick. That's a leisure activity. That's a leisure.
Actually,
You're
it was
doing
very-
that.
It was very leisurely because we were hammered.
You were
and
doing
high
it.
as
Yeah,
fuck.
you were doing it for
Time
fun.
to time.
You were like, "Hey, let's go out and ice fish and get drunk and high and
I'm
have
surprised,
fun."
and honestly, I'm surprised I'm not dead from like falling through a lake ever or like anything, any of the dumb shit that I've done, like because I lived in a winterland and was a redneck.
Yeah.
Like I should be.
I
dead.
wasn't a redneck.
No,
I did like some redneck stuff. Like
I mean your brother was.
Colin is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would like drink in
you're
the.
a redneck.
I
You're a
am
redneck.
not.
You're a redneck.
Stop
You're a
it. I am
recovering
not.
redneck.
You're from
I'm not a
Iowa.
recovering redneck.
You're living in Phoenix and working in Scottsdale. Like that's your rehab right now.
It
Like
kind
you're
of-
just trying.
It kind of comes out sometimes. Like I can sing any Garth Brooks song, like
course
and
you
just like
can.
shotgun a beer and then like arm wrestle you and then like go talk about No, I won't talk about football. Don't do that.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Fucking
but
good for you.
I like
don't like it. I don't like it's almost like there's a subset of women that feel like they have to know football at this point. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I know football, but I don't.
Do you like it?
I mean, like if it's on, I'll go watch it and like I'll wear the right colors and like I'll drink about it. But like I'll cheer like when I'm supposed to and like be quiet.
Yeah.
I eat wings. Like
So you're well trained.
I'm well trained. I'm football trained.
That's just and that's
I'll
what
make
I'm
a
saying.
great wife, I swear.
Yeah,
Somebody.
I'll make a
fucking hate it.
casserole. And
I fucking hate football. It's so
football's
dumb.
okay.
It's a
Bill,
dumb
we all
game.
know you hate football.
It's a dumb
It's fine.
fucking game.
Good.
I like
Good.
football, but yeah.
I prefer hockey.
Do you?
I prefer hockey too.
There's a lot of
Absolutely.
There's a lot
100%.
of fucking skill involved in hockey.
My cousins play hockey. My little girl cousins, and they are badasses.
Mhm.
They're like these beautiful little girls. They're like Ollie is 11 and Bo is 8, and they're just gorgeous little babies. And they go out there, and one time Bo like came up to her mom and she's like, "Hey mom," and she like pulled off her helmet and she's like, "Is my nose bleeding?" And Maya's like, "Oh my god, yeah." She's like, "Okay," and then like put it back on and like went and like scored a bunch of goals and stuff. And like Ollie like plays with the boys and like checked them. I don't know what I'm saying, but like she does those things. Like those hockey things.
Adorable.
I used to play a lot of beer league hockey, and there was this girl who played. She was like 24, and she'd played at Penn State.
Oh wow!
But she was like all of maybe 5'3".
She just skated around you guys.
She was so fucking fast, and she was so fucking good.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch her play, but it also sucked to have her just go around you every single time. But it was crazy.
I will say too, hockey girls. I've never seen an unattractive hockey girl.
They're pretty hot.
Pretty hot.
Pretty hot.
Yeah, you should see my cousins.
I mean, you said they were little.
See my cousins who are children.
I'm just kidding. They're 8 and 11.
That's disgusting. How dare you?
Listen,
Jeez.
she tried
and
to
then
play.
You have that fucking malevolent laugh.
She tried to make me play Fuck, Marry, Kill with my kids earlier.
I did not.
Did you really?
No.
I told
my
her I
God.
would
I
not.
just asked which one. No, I asked
Hannah,
which
we
one.
were talking about me being
I told her I
disrespectful.
would not do that.
I
It's
didn't
terrible.
do that. It's not
It's
true.
terrible,
Stop. When I lived in Germany,
What?
I was an au pair over there for like
An
a
au
year.
pair?
A nanny for a German family.
Okay.
So like I played high school soccer. Like I was only on like JV, and I won best spirit all 4 years. like I didn't
Hey, I won
scored-
my senior year. I won biggest heart award. So right here.
Yeah, I scored 2 goals in my whole career, and my coach like stood up and cried, and like it was
That's
like
so
radio.
funny.
Like I was like the autistic kid, and they're like, "Yeah, Hannah," and I'm like, "I drove here. Like I like took the ACTs. Like I'm good."
I'm going to college. Like,
Yeah, I'm going to college.
Like, I'm going to school after this, guys.
But my host mom, when I moved over there, she's like, "All right, Hannah, like what activities, do you do?" Because like Germans are like way into clubs and things.
Yeah.
And so they're like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like,
Like
"Well, I
in
played."
school? You
What?
mean like clubs in school?
Yeah, and like outside, like every like German is in like some sort of club, like adults too.
Oh, like
Yeah.
like here we have Freemasons or people that are like part of the Elks.
So
or-
like they just asked if I wanted to join soccer club. And I was like, "Yeah, sure," thinking like I'll make friends. No, they're all like fucking gazelles over
Oh,
there.
yeah?
Yeah, like I went and played like one game of pickup soccer with them.
Yeah.
And it was so embarrassing. Like I'm surprisingly like really fast. Like I played midfield.
Okay.
So I like ran like in spurts and stuff. I'm not like aggressive. So like everybody's like, "Oh, you played defense." I'm like, "No, I didn't." And so it was just embarrassing. I would never play German soccer again. But like they gave me.
That's like playing baseball here. It's something that everyone's raised on and has been doing their entire life.
Yeah.
I would say. I don't know. Maybe you guys
Rocco's
didn't have the
crying.
same baseball experience. Rocco, shut the fuck up.
No, like baseball was huge. Baseball was giant. Everybody played baseball.
Yeah.
I
Well,
did.
just
Like,
imagine-
and it's like softball. Like I played softball
Yeah.
just to say I played softball.
Darren Erstead was a coach.
Do we have to hear about fucking Darren
Yeah,
and
we
Brian
gotta hear-
Erstead again?
No,
Jesus
just
Christ.
I didn't play.
Who are
Because,
they?
I was
I
fucking
didn't play because I got in a fight with this guy who then became a pro baseball player.
Oh.
And I was like a little kid. And the fight happened for flag football, but I knew that he was also like the little league baseball.
The good guy.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. But I was just like, fuck him. I'm not going. I don't want to do it. I played through T-ball and that was it. I can't catch for shit.
It's funny.
Yep. Hannah Tighe, you have a show coming up here February 12th
Yes.
at Plasma
Yes.
that's called Trash Talks.
Yes.
That's a great... do you explain the show?
Yeah, so it's basically I get comedians on and they make a 5-minute presentation, like a PowerPoint over, something that they really love, like a guilty pleasure, like something that's kind of embarrassing about them.
Right.
Like my first show that I did one on Flavor of Love. So I did the episode where Hottie makes the chicken in the microwave. And I did it more like in the style of like a TED Talk, right? So like I'm the expert. and like people have done, Brian was on and he did yo-yos.
Nice.
Yep, Brian's was great.
That was really good. And then like Matt Micheletti came on and he did going to 311 concerts, like what to expect. And he like had the cruise ship on.
I liked Ben Anderson's. He did it on
picking his nose.
That's funny.
Yeah, he like had graphs and stuff.
He had all the different techniques.
Yeah, it was, and then like famous nose picking scenes.
Yep.
Let's see. Carrie Gallagher has been on twice. She did John Mayer, and she photoshopped his face over her husband's like wedding photos.
Yeah, it was great.
Mary
That's
Upchurch was on, and she did celebrities whose dicks you can always see through their pants. And that was the first time I met her.
That would be Mary's. Definitely would be Mary's.
Jessie Bally was on, and she did like McDonald's hot and spices.
That's
And
awesome.
brought some for everyone.
Oh,
that
that's
was
nice.
nice.
Did she cut 'em?
Yeah, like the tables just like split them. It was actually really
That's
funny.
hilarious.
Let's see. Michael Palladino did wrestling and like how everybody can like wrestling. Like, do you like costumes? Yeah. Do you like? I don't know. It was funny. Genevieve Rice did raccoons.
She's got a thing for raccoons.
She does.
I once saw a bunch of people dressed up as raccoons and like fucking playing music on the side of a street. Took a picture and sent it to her.
It wasn't her.
No, it wasn't her.
I was like, and Genevieve was in it.
No.
Like she was playing the banjo.
I just took a picture and sent it to her because it was such a weird scene. And she's like, "Where the fuck are you?"
Bill, what are you doing?
And she's like,
Who are
"Just
your
come
friends?"
come to Flagstaff. They have this kind of shit.
This is all it is.
This is what they do up here.
This is their thing.
Yeah.
They roast
So
coffee and dress up as coons and
Drink IPA.
raccoons.
Jesus, watch your mouth. Watch that potty
you're
mouth.
saying he's an acquaintance. Jeez. Although that is the funniest line in Forrest Gump when he's like, "Mama just gets a broom, gets him off the porch."
I mean, I met raccoons.
That's my favorite line of Forrest Gump.
Can't say shit like that anymore, and that's sad.
No.
I can't. I'm excited to do that show.
Do you
really
are you
jacked.
like saving it for the show? Like, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna save it for the show because
Okay.
it's gonna honestly, the idea that I came up with Matt in the car, for the show is also then going to be released as like a continuation, like a Instagram video series.
Oh.
It's
and it's
it's
premiering at my show.
It's premiering at your show.
Ooh,
World
how
premiere.
lucky am I?
World premiere
World
at
premiere.
Trash Talk.
I'm
at
so
Plasma.
excited.
My new
Thing.
reason to not
Live.
have a
Oh.
regular job.
Oh.
Also his reason to live. He has nothing besides
wow.
that.
I don't.
This
honestly.
is a whole thing.
Yeah.
If this fails, say goodbye to Bill. Pretty much. That's really the end.
No. I mean, honestly, once you see what it is, you'll be like, "Oh, he's gonna die anyway." So
So it'd be like, this is going to kill him one
It
way or
will.
the other.
definitely will one
I
day.
am so. I want to know. Don't tell me.
I will.
I love surprises. No, don't
Oh,
tell
you
me.
wanna
Don't tell me.
know?
I love
Okay.
surprises.
All right.
I think you'll be
surprises.
happily surprised. Yeah.
It's
You
like a
should be.
good thing. It's not like I'll get sad about it.
No, you won't get sad.
Oh no, you won't get
it's-
sad.
it'll
You'll
be-
laugh your balls off.
It'll be
Okay.
really fun.
Okay, and you're
Okay.
like, "Matt, I already laughed my balls off." You'll do it a second time.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
No.
You'll
Oh my God.
regrow balls
No more
and then
balls.
laugh them off again.
All right, and then I'll put them on the fingerprint thing.
Yep.
Perfect.
The balls, my
Perfect.
own balls.
Ball print.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Your
Double
fingerprints,
stamp.
your little boop, and then the balls. Yeah.
Cool.
Where can we find you on the lines?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram, and it's just Hannah HANNAHS as in Sophia, and then Tighe TIGHE.
Wow, we just found out a lot about you.
Yep. And then and then my Twitter is Hanny HANNY_TIE.
Okay.
It's not as good,
No.
but I
No.
did go viral once.
Did you?
John Legend retweeted me.
Oh.
What did?
Yeah,
was
well,
it?
I tweeted at him because I was watching the Office for like the 19th time, and it was the episode when Ryan is talking about how he's really trying to get Wolf off the ground, and he's like, "I emailed John Legend," and Andy goes, "You have his email?" And I thought that was like the funniest line, and so I just tweeted, I was like, I wonder if John Legend ever invested in Woof or something like that. And then like 30 seconds later, it was like John Legend subtweeted you, and I was like, I was like, no, I didn't. And then like I couldn't even get on my phone. I was in like a BuzzFeed article, like like office memes, like all this stuff.
God,
and then Chrissy commented on it.
That's dope.
That was neat.
That
was a cool
Isn't that
day.
a cool feeling? Like all of a sudden, like something that you came up with is just so many people are seeing it and liking it.
Just like my stand-up, right?
Shit. Hannah, your stand-up is fantastic, and you've been a wonderful guest. Thank you so much.
Really
Thank you for
been a great
having
guest.
me.
This has been a lot of fun.
Anytime you want to talk about like Iowa and murders.
Yeah.
Oh, the murder. Yeah, no, that was great.
We got like real dark.
Yeah.
That was cool.
We do a lot.
We go places.
Yep.
Yeah.
We get under things.
Yeah, it was
into
great.
things.
Perfect.
Onto things.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
coming.
Hannah.
Yeah,
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, listeners.
This has
Thanks,
been fabulous.
This has been good.
We love you, Matt.
I love him.
I love you too.
I love you. Yeah.
I love you
I
guys.
love everybody.
That's the nicest end of the podcast we've had in a while.
Aw.
Yes.